Bonjour mes amis, c'est moi, Patsy, Unique P, et bienvenue sur ma chaîne pour une autre vidéo. For those of you who are new here, bienvenue fashionista. Here we speak about all things black fashion, lifestyle, a little travel, et je parle un peu le français. If you haven't already, give your girl a thumbs up, like, share, and bien sûr, subscribe. Aujourd'hui video is the tea or coffee, whichever one you like, on how to travel to Paris on a budget. I know we all dream about traveling to Paris, and the thought of leaving from one side of the world or even across the water to get there may be a little bit expensive, or we think it's expensive and it's playing on our minds. So I'm going to give you my own personal experience and tips of how to travel to Paris on a shoestring budget. So if this is something you're interested in seeing, get your coffee, get your tea, get your wine, and I'll see you. Guys, welcome back. So we're gonna get started, of course, with arranging our travel. I would propose, if you are planning to go to Paris, try and plan at least 1 year in advance. That way you can check out airfares and accommodation. For me, the best fares I have come across are in the months of March, April, or November, December. And that is no matter where you're traveling from, be it from the US or from my home country, Antigua. I find the best fares are usually available at those times. And as far as accommodations as well, with Airbnb, the rates are much less than in the summer or in the actual holiday season. If you book in November, before the actual Christmas holiday, for some reason I find the rates are a lot less than if you book right around the holidays. That's it as far as preparing to travel. Then when you get to your destination in Paris, so yes, you see I have my fan because it's extremely warm today. I'm not sure, we are hitting Hades today. Anyway, let's continue. So if you are traveling from the island of Antigua, there is no direct flights to France. You have to take a connecting flight. My experience has shown that the best way to go is Antigua, London, Gatwick Airport, and then connect from there through a flight on EasyJet, which has ridiculously dirt cheap fares, or you can take the Eurostar train and take the scenic route, which is my best option. It is not as expensive as EasyJet, and you get the wonderful experience of seeing the greenery and all of the scenic routes between London and Paris. So if you are coming from Antigua, you're going to get to London Gatwick, and then you're going to take the transit train to Parcs International train station, and then from Parcs you're going to go via Eurostar to Gare du Nord, and that whole trip should not cost you $1,000 US. Then once you get into Gare du Nord, first thing you need to do is to buy your Pass Navigo. This is the absolute best way to get around Paris, Ile-de-France. You need your Pass Navigo, and your Pass Navigo, depending on if you need it for a 1 week or 1 month, will cost you 36.70 euro for 1 week, or €85 for the month. Depending on how long you're staying, you can decide which one would be your best option. And the beauty about the Pass Navigo is that you have access to all of the transportation that is available. You have access to the buses, to the subway, to the train. You just go whenever you want and there's no limitation. Now, you of course will need to know what direction you're going, so you have to have your map, and your map will tell you exactly what line you need to take to get to your destination. Now, next we go to places to visit. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Do you know that every Sunday the most popular museums in Paris are free to enter? Not only that, there are lots of other museums which are free all year round, and I will put the links in the description box for you so you have an idea of which museums you would like to visit and when they are free. So that is your first savings when you are in Paris. My favorite places to visit is the Basilique du Sacré-Cœur. That is just a wonderful cathedral. It is on a very high hill and you need your Pass Navigo to take the tram to go up there, or if you're inclined, you can take the walk and walk up the hill. It is absolutely très magnifique. I don't know what else to say about that. You will see in the cutaway what it looks like. And my last visit in April, I was fortunate to see rosary sessions that they had going on in the cathedral at the same time. My other favorite place to visit is Musée du Croix Branly. Now this is the African Museum and another beautiful place to visit. Then we have Musée Serranoche. You guys would have seen me give you guys a tour of both of these museums, the African Museum and the Japanese Museum du Serranoche, and those are my two favorites. Musée Serranoche is free all year round. My other two favorite museums I like to visit is Musée d'Orsay and Musée Rodin. And Rodin I love because he loved making sculptures of the human body, and you will find all over that museum beautiful nude sculptures of the human body in all sorts of very erotic settings and very human. You can feel the humanity in each of his sculptures, and I really like that. Next, we come to my absolute most wonderful thing to do in Paris is to spend time in the parks, and all of the parks are free and they're all absolutely beautiful. My favorite being Le Parc de Bercy. Now this park has a winery in it. It also has a beautiful garden where you can pick fruits. It's lovely. All sorts of floral arrangements. I mean, it is just an absolute beautiful space to be, and you can spend a whole day there with breakfast, lunch, dinner, and just be at peace. My next favorite park is Parc Luxembourg. Oh, très magnifique again. Très magnifique. Just absolutely beautiful. Then we have Parc Rosary. Now Parc Rosary, you have to pick your time of year to go there. It is full of roses of all different variations. You'll see in the cutaway what it looks like from my visit. I visited there last year and it is just absolutely wonderful. Next, we'll talk about food. And food, of course, is absolutely cheap, especially if you're preparing it yourself in your Airbnb, or if you need to go out to eat. There are lots of places that are inexpensive, the unpopular places that I find are absolutely wonderful. The service is great and the food is très superb. You can find lots of places online, and I will put a couple of places in the description box that I think would be nice in choosing where you would like to go. And of course, entertainment. And for me, going to the movies is absolutely wonderful. Wednesdays are the best time to go to the movies. They put out all of the new movies at that time, and you can have movies in both English and French. You have the subtitle that you can read and follow along. And the one thing I like about the cinema is that you can also buy a pass that will give you 7 movies that you can go to. It is normally 20 euros per movie, and if you buy a pass for 25 euros, you can get 7 movies from that pass. So you see, that's another big saving there. Also, there is always a street fair happening in Paris. Always a street fair. Sometimes you run up into them and don't even know that they're happening. And that is another great way of getting some entertainment. And at all of the monuments, you will find people standing outside singing and entertaining you. So it all depends on what you're looking for in entertainment. You can find entertainment there. You see, there is lots of things to do, lots of places you can go for little or nothing. You don't have to go to the most popular monuments. And I did not even mention visiting Tour d'Eiffel. Now, Tour d'Eiffel is the place that everybody wants to see. That is the Eiffel Tower. And it is absolutely free to visit the Eiffel Tower. Now, to go up in the Eiffel Tower, there is a cost for that. But what's the point in going up the Eiffel Tower when you can just walk under it or as close to it as possible? It's the same experience, unless you want to see the scenic view from the top and you want to go in. And the link is in the description box for the cost for that. For me, going to Paris is basically going home because I have family that lives in Paris. So my expenses, and someone who is going there as a novice and has no connections there, would be a little bit different. But you get the same experience that everybody else who has family and lives there is experiencing. You just have to be smart about where you want to go and what you want to do, and you will have just as wonderful an experience as the person who is spending $1 million. Absolutely no different. I forgot to mention the place that I always wanted to see before my first visit to Paris 5 years ago, and that is Versailles. I am obsessed with the Sun King, that is Louis XIV, and I always wanted to see Versailles, and seeing it for the first time, I was in heaven. Now, Versailles has 2 options. You can see the gardens of Versailles for 10 euros, or you can get view of the museum to see all of the interior at 75 euros. And for me, I have seen both, but seeing the gardens, and it is a musical garden. You see the fountain with all of the, you'll see in the cutaway what it looks like, but it is the most amazing thing in this world. And this is just me sharing with you guys my experience. I think no matter where in the world you are, everybody should travel to a different country at least once in their life, especially to Europe. Europe has preserved its centuries of history, and it is a marvel to walk through the streets. I am speaking about not only France, but Spain, Germany. These are places I have visited, so I can speak with authority in those places. It is absolutely wonderful to see how people have preserved their history, so they know where they come from and where things are, and that is absolutely magnificent. So that's it. I hope you guys have found some interest in what I've shared, and you have some interest in going to visit these places. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the description box. I am happy to answer them, as far as giving you my own recommendations of where you should go or things you should do. And until I see you next time, have a wonderful week, everybody. À bientôt. Au revoir. À tout à l'heure.